Hello, friends. I had a very different video message that I was planning to share with you today. I was going to talk about how our giving had exceeded our operating budget goal for 2020, and the good news that we were still calculating our Christmas Eve offering. But then yesterday, there was chaos at the Capitol. And like many of you, I was saddened and shocked at what I was seeing. And in talking with some of you, I know that some of you are scared and worried, nervous, disheartened by what we saw. I'm with you. And so we do what the people of God have always done. We lament. Because we're in the Gospel of Luke, my mind immediately went to Luke 19, and Jesus is approaching the city of Jerusalem, and he looks out over the city, and as he sees the city, he weeps over it. My heart is heavy, just like yours, and I'm saddened, and I weep, and I lament at the state of our nation, at the divisions that we see, not just at the macro level, but in our own families, with our friends or neighbors. And so we lament and we take our pain to God. And I would encourage you, if you're really struggling in this season, to reach out to me or Ray or Jessica or anyone on the leadership team. We'd be happy to pray with you and to walk with you. For those of you like me who are parents, I would encourage you to talk to your children. This morning, my kids were hearing about in school what had happened yesterday and learning about how we don't break into places and destroy property. And so we need to speak with our children and guide them and usher and shepherd them through this time. I'm also reminded that after Jesus weeps over the city, he says this: if you only knew on this day what would bring you peace. Jesus knows how this journey will end for him in the gospel according to Luke. He knows that peace is missing from the city, and he sees the brokenness. He knows that there is no peace, no shalom, no wholeness. Yesterday was Epiphany, which is when we celebrate and remember as Christians the manifestation or the revealing, the showing of who Jesus is to the Magi, to the wise people. And yesterday, on Epiphany, was yet another reminder, a showing of the brokenness that exists in our land. And so as Christians, we must name the brokenness. And we do that so that we can begin to treat the wounds, so that we can begin the process of moving towards healing and wholeness and peace. We also name that the way of violence is not the way of Jesus. That among the images of violence we saw yesterday, there were images of nooses, but there were also images of crosses and other Christian symbols and signs with Jesus' name, and it can be confusing as to how these things are together. And so we as Christians, we condemn violent actions of any kind and place and time, but we also condemn violent words. And we look for the violence that exists in our own lives, and we name it as well. We name that Jesus is our Prince of Peace, that in Jesus we find our peace and our wholeness. Jesus says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, those who pursue peace in the world." We want to be those people. My hope and my prayer is for peace. And we are also going to work for peace. Jesus has shown us the way of peace. And so this can be a wake-up call, a reminder of the work that we have yet to do as a church and as individual people, not just out there, but in our own lives and with our own families and our neighbors and in our workplaces, where we might need to have conversations with people that we disagree with politically or economically, but we can't let that prevent us from working for peace, of seeking the welfare of the city in which God has placed us. Jesus shows us the way of peace, and I'd invite you to join me as we journey with Jesus towards peace. And I pray that we can be a people of peace. Friends, stay safe. I love you, and I'm praying for you, and I hope to see you Sunday morning for worship. Grace and peace.